Hello, everybody. I am getting adjusted. Almost ready, about to do this marathon. You know how it goes, everybody, at the last minute. Oh, you guys know already how it goes. Yes. So I hope everybody is doing great. You guys are feeling awesome. We're about to get into a few topics. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to getting into the topics, all of those things. So, how are you all doing? Getting myself adjusted. I just came in the door just a little bit ago. Still getting myself together, but I did want to respect everybody's time and keep my word and show up on time. I'm about to get started here. You guys know that I don't like to be on camera unless I look a certain way. If I'm looking crazy, my camera is most definitely going to be turned off until I get myself right. Get myself looking appropriate, looking like a person who knows her worth and value. How's everybody doing? I think now is a good time for me to turn my camera on. Let's see. It's not turning on. I don't know why the camera is not turning on. I have the things, but it's not doing anything. Let me turn it around. Turn it back to me. Okay. Let me clean my camera lens, and I will be right with you guys. Hi, Jill. Hi, Life with Tasharia. How is everybody doing? Okay, now I can turn my camera on. Hopefully that's better, guys. I'm having issues with my phone. I may have to try to get a new phone, but that's a problem for another day. But happy new month, everybody. We're here in October. I'm so happy to be with my Gems family. Thank you for spending a little of your time with me. I truly appreciate you guys. Shout out to my mods. Shout out to my channel members and everybody who supports me. Yeah. So it's a new month. It's October, everybody. Can you believe that we only have 3 months left in the year? Not one, not two, but 3 months left in the year. And I must definitely have some plans to enjoy my last 3 months. Do you guys? What plans do you all have? I do have a few topics here. I'm not just going to be blubbering on talking about anything needless for the next 2 hours. But the first topic that I have is about social media bullies. And I feel like that's a very good topic and it's very appropriate. And I think just about everybody has had to deal with social media bullies, whether you are a content creator or you're not a content creator. Either you have been bullied or, either you have been bullied or you know somebody who has been bullied. And I will never understand, no matter what anybody has to say. We are all adults. We're grown people. If you don't like the content creator, if you don't like the video, the live stream, then exit. I think it's a simple thing, but you know how it goes. People come on social media with their mental illness, their mental health problems, their anger, their drama, and they want to bring it onto your page. bring it onto your page, your space in social media, and that's so weird to me. There's so many social media bullies that it's crazy. It's so many people on social media that I believe don't need to be on social media. They honestly need to let it go and give it up, but it is what it is. Do you guys know some social media bullies? Some people who are on social media that need to not be on social media because they mentally can't handle it. I think when I first started on social media, my thing was I felt like I had a message to say, and I got kind of taken back the first few times somebody said something to me or about me, and I'm like, these people don't know me in real life, but I'm not gonna lie to y'all and say that it does not bother me. It doesn't irritate me, and that's why I always say that as content creators or anybody who consumes social media, you uh, um, you have to take breaks from social media for your mental health. Um, Jill says, I definitely do, and I block them. Yes, as you should, Jill. I just think some people are so weird. Like, why come to a person's channel, a live stream, video, and and say negative things? If you don't like it, then we're grown. You know what to do. But people will come, watch your videos, or come to your live stream and judge you, talk about you, or bring drama from somebody else's channel over to yours. I just at my big age, at my grown age, I don't have time for the foolishness. I don't have time for the negativity. So just like Jill says, block them and keep on going. That's what I will say. And another part about social media bullies is that it's not just the side of the people who just are saying things to you. It's the people who go to people and they bully them because they have special needs, because of their kids, because of their weight, because just something negative. And I have never seen anything in my life like social media. You don't know the person. You don't know what that person is going through and dealing with, but yet people want to find themselves bullying kids. I have seen on social media that is so weird to me. People will go to somebody's channel that makes vlogs, for instance, and bully people's kids. Tell them that they're ugly, or they're overweight, or they're this or they're that, and it's like, since when have you ever been somebody else's judge? It's crazy. It's crazy work to me. Hey, we're odds and events. How are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome to the marathon. How was your Saturday? How was your week, everybody? How was the beginning How was the beginning of your October? Was your October so far? Has it been good? Even though we're only on the fourth day. I hope so far, so good. You've had a good October so far. Hey, realists, how are you doing? Welcome in. Welcome, welcome. Um, yeah. I always look forward to October as the beginning part, not the end part, but the beginning part. I look forward to October every year because of the fall and the changing leaves and just the coolness of the air. Just for me, fall represents a transition and change and opportunities for growth. You guys see me in my yellow. You know, yellow is my color for I rock my yellow all fall. I don't care. People say yellow is for spring. Yellow is for fall. And I stand on that 10 toes down. I will wear my yellow all fall. Whoever likes it, I'm wearing it. Okay. It's not just spring. I wear spring, summer, fall. Okay, I don't wear the yellow. I mean winter, but I'm wearing it. Okay. Yeah, somebody talking about when I did a fall outfit of the day and I wore yellow. There was like, yellow is not for fall. And I was like, get off my page. Okay. Real Oz is laughing. Life with Shari says, Life with Marlene. That yellow looks good on you too. Yes, thank you. I think so too. I think yellow is a good color on my skin tone. Yeah. That's like when they say you can't wear white after Labor Day. Hey, and just because people say things like that, that is exactly why I wear it. I can't wear white after a Labor Day. I'm gonna be in an all white pantsuit, and I'm say what now? What do you have to say? What they gonna do? Come and rip it off of you? It's like people need to get a life. People on social media and people in real life need to get a life. What does it matter to somebody else what color they're wearing? Let people be happy. Um, Hello to anyone else I've missed. Multitasking says Jill's comfort zone. Thank you, Jill. I appreciate you. Jill says, I love yellow as well. Yes, Jill. You're yellow too, girl. Ra'ad says, right. Hi, Daily Quotes. How are you doing? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. So, in this first maybe 15, 20 minutes, we're going to be talking about all things social media. So, if you guys have something to chime in, you got to get something off your chest. And we're going to talk about all things social media. So, I started off talking about social media bullies. Then I went over to how people can be weird on social media. And I think one thing I want to talk about when it comes to social media is I just wish more people would learn how to be more authentic and just themselves. Just like for me today, I wore what I wanted to wear. I wanted to wear this. I wanted to be yellowed down. I didn't feel like putting on makeup, so I'm makeup free. And other times I will want to put on makeup. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I want my long hair. Sometimes I want short hair. Sometimes I want my natural hair. Sometimes I want it silk, press it down. And that's what I'm going to do. When it comes to social media, people will try to tell you how you should wear the hair that comes out of your scalp, or the hair that you bought, or the dress, or whatever outfit that you bought. And I feel like it's that person's body, it's their choice, and that's it, right? That's how I feel about it. It's that person's life, that person's body, that person's money. They can do what they want to do. It's so much people who are controlling, and they feel like it's okay to be rude to other people on social media, and it's not. Um, but also at the same time, I will say something. I don't agree with being rude and nasty to people as long as people aren't coming for you. Like, but it's a difference when you come on somebody else's space, somebody else's page, and you target them and you say things about them. Then they want to say, you're mean, you're rude, you're this, you're that. When you have protected yourself, when you have blocked them. Yeah, let's talk about the people that you put on a block party, right? The people, they're strange, controlling, manipulative, disrespectful, or whatever, and for whatever reason you block them. Then they come back on another page, but it's the same person. And I'll tell you how all of you people who are low vibrational, how you identify yourself, and how I know exactly who you are is because your vocabulary is off. Your vocabulary is off. You do the same spelling errors that you did when you were on the other page. So, just think about those things. Spell correctly. Check, your dictionary, thesaurus, something. Spell check. I don't know with these people, but now I just wanted to say that Marlene's going to wear what she's going to wear. For those people who have been in my spam saying, "Oh, you shouldn't wear that color. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that wig. I don't like your hair. I don't like your glasses." Well, if you don't like my glasses, if you like my hair, buy me a new pair of glasses. How about that? You got $500, and then cash out your girl, because my cash app, I'll drop it. Okay. If you don't like my glasses, you don't like my hair, cash out. Send me some money then. Buy me some outfits since you're so rich. See, and then it gets silent because I know already that people are not going to be willing to do anything to help somebody. And I have always been raised this way. If I cannot help somebody, if I can't pour into them, if I can't elevate them, I don't say nothing. You may, sometimes, you may laugh to yourself, oh, that don't look good, that don't look right. I wouldn't wear it like that. But that's not your life and it's not your business. And that's what Marlene got to say about that. Drop the mic. So let's start talking about some other things. You guys know that your girl is an esthetician and I do skincare. And I want to talk about something that, for my melanated people. Okay, don't even pay attention to this. Okay, but when you guys that are melanated, you got some, color to you, and you get things that say sunscreen on it. Okay, things that have sunscreen on it for my melanated people, you cannot put this on without rubbing it in well because it has a white cast because of the, what is it, I think the oxidate. Yes, oxidate is that white cast, and when that white cast hits with brown or darker skin, it's going to look gray. So you have to make sure that you rub it in well, and you dilute it. You got to put maybe a little tiny drop of that sunscreen, and then you got to mix it in more with moisturizer on wet skin. I'm just giving you guys the tea because we're about to go into ashy season. Oh, yes, talks with your esthetician. When we're going into the season of ashiness, as my mom would say, cement season, because you guys who know, those who have some, you get some ash on your elbows and your knees and your face, around your nose, your lips get dry and crusty, all those things. You got to do some more things. You got to have different skincare in the fall than you had in the summer. And I know that it can be a challenge for many of us, to try to find the right products. And, it has been kind of in my spirit. Maybe I'll do it as shorts, talk about some good products that I recommend for my melanated people. I'm going to talk about products for men, products for children, healthy, natural. I'm going to do budget friendly, all that stuff, because I don't like to see people out here struggling and being ashy or using the wrong products or not knowing how to spread. And another thing is, anytime when you're dealing with your face, I hope you guys are listening. Tip from your esthetician: you didn't even have to pay a consultation fee from your girl. Anytime you're going to be touching your face, washing your face, anything, make sure that you have washed your hands. Now, I'm not trying to like tell you what you don't know, but make sure that you wash your hands, and that the products that you washed your hands with was fragrance free, because whatever you washed your hands with, there's going to be some residue of that fragrance that you're going to be wiping onto your face. So I recommend that you have a fragrance free soap that you use before you touch your face. So involving cleansing, putting on lotion, doing scrubs or anything. And even if you want to level up your skin, say if you have acne on your face, I recommend that you buy some, not latex. What are those gloves? I usually have some around. It's not latex, it's the other ones. Vinyl. Have some vinyl gloves that you use, that is fragrance free, latex free, because I know some people have allergies, and use that when you're putting any products on your face. It's one of the reasons why sometimes our face breaks out, because even if you have cleansed your hands, you still have some oil, maybe on your fingertips, or you got something that's underneath your nails. You never know yeah. So just a tip, guys, just a tip. um Yeah, so we're going to get into some topics now. So we talked about social media and some of those bullies. Now I want to get into talking about deadbeats. And when I say deadbeats, I mean all forms of deadbeats. Deadbeat daddies, deadbeat mamas, deadbeat friendships, deadbeat jobs. So we're going to start from the beginning. um, to any of you who are a parent, I want to applaud all the parents, shout from the top of my lungs. Being a parent is one of the hardest things that you can ever do. So I applaud all the parents, whether you are a single parent, you have support and you have help, or you don't have support and help. Shout out to the parents. It's one of the hardest working jobs that you don't get paid for, and sometimes you don't get appreciation for. So shout out to the mamas, shout out to the daddies, and both matter. The mothers matter, the fathers matter, the uncles, the aunties, anybody who's doing those parenting roles. Yeah, you guys are doing awesome. I'm so proud of every single one of you. Call. So yeah, it came back. Okay, good. So I want to talk about deadbeats. Deadbeats. I'm not a person that comes for anybody. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing? Welcome in. I'm not a person that comes for anybody, but one thing is for sure, I don't like a person who is a deadbeat in any aspect. A deadbeat daddy, for instance, and there is two sides to the story when it comes to being a deadbeat. And I think a lot of times that men get a bad rap. Don't hold me, ladies. I don't mean that there aren't deadbeat dads, but I do believe that there are a lot of people that claim that that man is deadbeat when it's that he's probably been beaten down. He hasn't had the support that he needs in order to be a good parent. Maybe he has not had his father in his life, and he's just doing the best that he can. And sometimes in a relationship, when the relationship goes south and it's not working out, uh, that that woman makes it very impossible for him to be a good father. And I think more of us ladies need to make it easier for if he's trying. And I'm not never going to hold and say I'm going to be supportive of deadbeats. No, I don't mean that. But sometimes I see that when there is a breakup, you have kids with somebody, it's your children's father, and maybe it wasn't that you're happy that you broke up. So you're going to make it difficult for him to be in your child's life. Like if he's not with me, if he's moved on to somebody else, and then he's not going to see his kid, or if he wants to see his kid, he got to pay for my nails, he got to pay for my hair, he got to pay for this, he got to pay for that, like making him be punished. Hey Lara, congratulations on your new PC. And I see it a lot. I've seen it on social media, I've seen it in real life, that people will punish their ex, their baby's father, because he moved on, because he doesn't want to be with them, or for whatever reason they didn't work out, and now they don't allow that man to be in the child's life, and then they want to label that he's a bad father. Okay, maybe because you didn't work out with them. Okay, but you two need to learn to have the conversations and be on board. Now, I'm not talking about the ones that are mentally ill, they just leave, they don't help. I don't mean those. I'm trying to be a voice of reason, because there's so much things that I see on social media and things that I see in real life. Okay, I see it, and I'm not proud of it. As a woman, I think sometimes what is showcased as women is the ones that are, mm, and I don't like to use the term ghetto or hood rat, but uh, not a classy woman. There has to be maturity behind being a parent. Maybe it's not what you wanted. You don't want to be a single parent, but it is what it is, and that is the circumstance. So if you got kids with somebody and that man is wants to be part of that kid's life, let that man see his kid, okay? And very few instances, but it still happens where it's the father, and then there's the woman wants to see her kid, and the man makes it hard for her. So in any situation, vice versa, if a man, the father, wants to be in the kid's life, if the mother wants to be in the kid's life, you may not like how they live, their lifestyle, who they're in a relationship with, but as long as they're a good parent, they're a good person, let them see their kids. That has been my message. Because I saw something on social media a little while ago, and I absolutely did not agree with how this man was crying, and I want to see my kid, and she won't let me see my kid, and it tore my heart. It tore my heart up. So that's that part, that message. So next, after that, I want to say deadbeat dads. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that don't have a good father. Maybe he has some issues. Maybe he hasn't been loved on and hugged on, and he doesn't know how to be a father. And you run from what is new. You're scared. You don't want the responsibility for whatever case. They're not in the child's life. And I always say this, and I will keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it: do not discuss your issues with the man or the woman with your kids. Let your children decide for themselves that my mother or my father is a deadbeat. But you saying your father or your mother, they're no good and they're not about this, and okay, that may be the truth, but let your children come to that conclusion. It's always going to be their father, it's always going to be their mother, and nothing can change that. You may not agree, and sometimes you get into that zone as you're bitter because of the breakup, and that's what it is. You're bitter, you didn't like what they did, cheated, disrespected, didn't work out, right? But here you are, but you still need to be on the same page when it comes to your children. You still got to be on the same page. Forever, that's going to be your child's father. Forever, that's going to be your child's mother. You know, you don't have to be together, but what you should be is on the same page with making sure your children are in a loving environment, and show respect to your child's father. Show respect to your child's mother. Don't degrade them in front of your children. I just had to say that part, because I get sick of seeing people saying stuff in front of their children, and it's not good. It warps how our children view their parent before they make a decision about how they feel. Now, if they say it's that, then you know you can't do anything about it. That's their decision then, but keep your views to yourself. Okay. Deadbeat dads. And one thing that I want to say about deadbeat fathers, that there's so many men who are incarcerated. There's so many men who have not been given the opportunity, the same situation. I can say, as a woman, I see a lot of injustices when it comes to men and women. It's the equal situation, the same circumstance. All it is that now it's a man instead of a woman. I see that there is not a lot of support when it comes to it could be a man as a single parent. It could be a man that could be homeless. It could be a man that can't find a job. I believe And I could be wrong. You guys can take it or leave it. But I see that there are way more resources and support when it comes to women and the things that we need as women. It's not perfect. Yeah, we need more things, but I see that it's not the same treatment. It's not the same support when it comes to men, and I don't like that. If a man is homeless, if a man is a single parent, a single father, those same resources don't exist for them, and even other people will judge them. Well, you're a man up, but nobody says to the woman, you should woman up. You know, I don't like when things are not equal. I It doesn't matter to me if it was happening to a woman or it was happening to a man. I was still gonna have the same opinion. If you're gonna help women and help men equally, not just uh, looking down at them. So that's what I got to say about the deadbeat dad situation, and also to anybody, if maybe if you had a deadbeat father. Um, I can't speak from experience, but the things that I've heard from coaching, from having people and their friends and stuff, and they don't have a father in their life, I can't imagine how that feels. And I show you guys all of the respect, all of the support. It's here for you and it's real. Um, you know, don't blame yourself. That's what I will say. I have never had that situation to have a deadbeat dad or to have a deadbeat mother, but I know what it feels like when you have a deadbeat situation, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. But I just wanted to say to anybody, you know, if even if you're grown and you didn't have your mother around or you didn't have your father around, doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you weren't loved, you weren't special, but it doesn't feel that way sometimes, right? um, yeah, I just wanted to say that part. So that's the deadbeat dads. And I also wanted to say, when it comes to deadbeat dads, I just wish that more more fathers that were single fathers would speak up and show, that I'm not deadbeat, and that not all men are deadbeat. There are some men out here taking care of their kids, and I'm so proud of y'all. And there are some women out here and they're taking care of their kids, and I'm so proud of you. Okay, now let's talk about those deadbeat mothers. It's something that I laugh and I chuckle at it, but it definitely does exist. There are some women out there. Not all women have that motherly instinct to take care of children and to hug on them and kiss on them. It's not natural for all women. Some just don't want to be, because maybe illness, or because of immaturity and whatever reason, and they got some stuff going on. Sometimes it's because of addiction to substances, and the same thing can happen with a deadbeat daddy, on substances, have an alcohol problem, one reason or the other. They're not in the child's life. And I wish that there was more support for those who are deadbeat, per se. I wish there was support. I really do. Um, like, why are they not in the child's life? I wish there was more. Like, do they need some therapy? Do they need housing? Do they need a job? How can we help them so that they cannot be a deadbeat, and how these children are being affected at critical times in their life, from the time a child is born up until they're around, 17, 18 years old. And even after, you're always going to need your parents, but especially in those formidable years, those young years where you're very impressionable, you need your mother and you need your father, equally. And me, as a person that grew up with both, and there was a lot of times where I didn't want my mother. It's like, I love you, but I want my daddy. And then there was other times where I did not want my father. I wanted my mother. So both are valid. Both mother and father are valid, loved, important, and needed and necessary, and to be celebrated. So, yeah, I wanted to say that. So that's my topic about the deadbeats. I don't want to keep on beating that down, but yeah. Now we talked about the deadbeat moms and fathers. Let's talk about deadbeat relationships, like romantic relationships. I see things on social media. I see people stay in romantic relationships, and I think it's very interesting that people stay in romantic relationships and they're unhappy or they're sad, and they allow that romantic relationship to keep them down, keep them unhappy, and they just keep taking it. And my question to you all is, why do you think people stay in these deadbeat relationships? Like, they're not happy, um, they're actually sad or miserable, they're being controlled, there's a lot of jealousy and negativity. Why do you think people stay in deadbeat relationships? um, I can only speak on me. Why I stayed in a deadbeat relationship for so long is because I didn't think I deserved better. Just keeping it real and absolutely 100% transparent, I didn't feel that I deserved better. You get into that where when you're with somebody for a while, you just feel like you don't want to leave because you don't want to start all over again. You don't want to meet anybody else. And also, you don't want to go through that pain of a breakup and being alone and, finding somebody else, because it's not always a guarantee that you meet somebody else, the relationship will be better. So you always have that kind of internal struggle. But also for me, when I knew my relationship was not working, I knew it wasn't working out. I knew I was unhappy for a really long time. Um, Mine was the embarrassment. The embarrassment that I felt like, oh, people are about to be like, oh, you're not with them. And it's just so very embarrassing. But at the same time, you have to stop thinking about what other people think, and you got to think about your happiness. Yeah, people are going to talk. They are going to talk, whether you are happy, whether you're sad, and in between. People love to talk about you. So that was one thing that I had to get over, that people was going to talk about me. People were going to say, oh, you're not together. And some people will snicker and say, oh, I told you so. So I had to get my mind wrapped around that. You got to be okay with it first before you can be strong enough to walk away, because I see people in cycles of they're together, then they break up and they get back together, and that's all they do. um, Breaking up and getting back together when it has not, the behaviors why you left has not improved. They still have the bad behaviors, are still toxic, still angry, manipulative, jealous, not a provider, you know, not empathetic, no compassion, zero respect, no boundaries. It's just, and also on top of it, I think a lot of times people don't want to have this conversation that when you met them, they were never good for you from the beginning. It's a lot of people who are together and they are mismatched. That has never been your person. That person has never been good for you. Um, but I believe that a lot of people, they settle and they feel that they have to be with this person. I love them, or they say they love me. And especially what makes a relationship so difficult to walk away from is if you have kids together. Um, yeah, that's a big challenge. People wanting to stay together for the kids, right? And I just I honestly, I'm a person that I like to see people happy, not fake happy, you know, not pretending, oh yeah, I'm so happy, and you're not happy with them. It's a lot of people that put on these airs for other people, like, oh yeah, I'm so happy, oh yeah, I love them, and they're posting pictures on social media, and they haven't been happy for a long time. Actually, they're miserable, and they've probably never gotten along, but they just take it because they don't believe that they deserve better. Um, they don't believe in themselves, and they don't love themselves enough. So I wanted to say all of that because I have been there. I have done that in my life, settling for less than I deserve, wanting to leave, but not having enough courage to leave. So, if anybody who's listening to this and you're in a relationship with somebody and they're a deadbeat, negative, jealous, controlling, they're not supportive, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel like you're growing in the relationship, they're not supportive of you, um, any of those things, or it just the vibe is not there, because sometimes just personalities clash and it's just not working. Yeah, the best thing that you can do is to get out while you can. Unfortunately, people are being unalived every day because they just say, I'll get out one day, I'll walk away, and they don't get a chance to because of that person being jealous, unalives them. So I don't want it to get to that, and I wasn't trying to take it to a dark space, but sometimes that's what it is. And so much people don't get out. So I do understand that it takes courage to walk away. And I applaud everybody who walks away. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it's not easy to be single. It's not easy to start over again. It's not easy to have all of the bills, all of the responsibility. But you know what is it? Your peace of mind, your joy, your happiness. Yeah, just feeling good about. I hope I hope it comes back. If it does not come back, okay. I think it came back. Good. All right. So I don't know how much of that was coasting, but it seems like it came back because I was like, why is nobody in here? So good. It's back. So I don't know how much of that um, came through or whatever, but I wanted to get back into talking about this topic. Um, like I was saying a little bit earlier, that I have the majority of my life, I have had anxiety. Um, there's a lot of things that we people have that they don't even know they have. Like I didn't even know that I had anxiety for a long time in my life. I didn't know for a long time that I had depression. I didn't know for a long time that I should have seen a therapist. I didn't know those things. And back in the day, people didn't talk about how they felt and what they were going through. And if you tried to talk about what you're going through, people would label you as you're weird and all these things. But I had to overcome that so I could be happy. And I say this on social media because there's somebody who's probably had anxiety like me, dealing with depression, or had some heavy things happen to them in their life, and they've never talked about it with a therapist, a counselor, or anybody. They've stuffed that inside. That's not good for us. It's not good for you to repress your anger, repress your sadness, repress your whatever anxiety. And I think how life is now, I think everybody has anxiety. It's just that people, they lie about it. Oh no, I'm fine and I'm good. But I think a lot of people do have anxiety like myself. It's just that I open up and I talk about it, and I say that, I talk about when I have my good days. I talk about when I have my bad days. I talk about when I have my in between days. I talk about when I feel stressed out, and that takes a lot of courage, and it does. It takes courage to be yourself. It takes courage to change something that is toxic, okay? And that means cutting off toxic people out of your life, um, giving yourself the permission to heal and to forgive, and to say, this person, that person doesn't deserve a place in my life, because they always bring me pain, they hurt me, they take advantage of me, they don't respect me, they're just not good for me. And that's what I had to learn that part, as being a woman, or if you're a man, either, um, that if how you feel, how you feel. And when you don't feel supported, when you're not growing, when you're not happy, if you don't have peace in your life, you don't have anything. I will say that part. um, for a long time, I hadn't had peace. I didn't even know what peace was. And I think that's the reason why I was so angry and had so much anger issues, is because I would not resolve it, and I wouldn't be honest with myself. So I also give this to all of you gems as well. You have to be there for yourself. You have to be honest with yourself and stop being fake. This society, I believe, sets us up for us to be fake, to not talk about how we feel, because the job don't care. Most people, your relatives don't care. Most people don't care about you, but you have to care about yourself. So I say this, and I'm doing this live to bring awareness to mental health, to bring awareness to, if you don't have peace in your life, if you're not loving on yourself, if whatever, if there's something in your life and it's not going the way you want to, if you're miserable, if you're unhappy, if you got something that is making you miserable, work on yourself. And I know that that takes courage. I know that it's hard. I know that it's painful and stressful. But on the other side, I can say, after going through therapy, I am so much happier. I have peace now. Now I have the tools where I didn't have I did not have those tools before. But now I know how to show up for myself. I know how to make myself happy. And anybody who is draining me and is a toxic person, I say that to everybody who's listening, anybody in the sound of my voice. If you have people around you and they are toxic, they don't support you, if they're always taking from you, if they always give you mean, negative energy, you need to remove yourself from those people, because they're never going to change. People don't change. You're the one that changes. You're the one that stays miserable and angry, and that's not going to work. We have to stop being miserable and unhappy and give ourselves the permission to be happy. And those angry and miserable people, they're going to remove themselves when you stop giving them power over your mind, when you stop trusting everybody, when you stop um, respecting people that don't respect you. We need to end all of that. People who don't respect you, your boundaries, your opinions, your feelings, get rid of them out of your life. If they don't care about how you feel, if they don't know how to support you, if they're not understanding, if they keep disrespecting you, and I don't care who it is, it could be one of your parents, it could be your friends, it could be somebody you're in a relationship with, it could be people on social media. I don't care. Whoever does not know how to treat you in the right way, show you respect, Get them out of there. Make room for whatever's coming next. And it took me a while for me to understand that if I let people who are toxic go, if I free them or remove them out of my life, when I block them, I allow for a more positive person to come in my life. Your life can't change and pivot if you keep just allowing toxicity, if you keep allowing drama, you keep allowing negativity, and if you don't trust in yourself. I had to learn how to trust myself. I had to learn that I deserve more. And I used to say to myself, Marlene, you deserve more than what you're settling for. And I want to say that to somebody who needs to hear it. You are settling for less than you deserve in a romantic relationship, in a friendship, on a job. You're smarter than you think. You have to be confident. You have to be courageous. You got to stand up for yourself and go for it. Sometimes you're going to win at whatever it is that you're trying, and sometimes you won't. But I always say, but at least I tried. At least I'm doing the best that I can. At least I'm doing it. And there's a lot of people that will say that won't work, right? For what I remember when I said I was going to do social media, and people laughed at me all the time and said that won't work. And no, who wants to listen to you people talk about motivation? But yet I have people who do. You know, one thing that we have to understand is that everybody is not for you. Okay? Yeah, realist. I think it froze. Everybody is not for you. Everybody is not your friend, nor should they be. If For me, it's the people who think everybody should be your friend. Everybody is not going to be your friend. Everybody is not going to show up for you. Everybody will not respect you. Everybody is not going to root for you. But one thing's for sure is, have you started rooting for yourself? Do you cheerlead for yourself? Do you show up for yourself? And those are the sort of questions that I had to start asking myself. How am I supporting me? Not waiting for siblings and friends and in a relationship and whoever to support me, but do I support me? Am I showing up for me? Am I taking care of me? And most of the time, our answer is no. And I know what you guys are going to say. Oh, Marlene, I'm so tired all the time. And I get it. I get tired. I'm tired too. But we got to make time for ourselves. Hey, sure, Shannon. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Saturday. Happy new month. We most definitely have to learn how to make time for ourselves. hmm you got to make time to make yourself happy. Nobody can do that for you. Nobody can do that for you. Nobody can give you peace of mind. Nobody can help you to forgive. Nobody. You have to be at that point where you are ready to forgive people. You have to be at that point where you're ready to let go of toxic people. And it took me a while to get to that space in my life. And it takes a lot of courage to be at that space to say, you're not benefiting me. You're not helping me. Actually, what you are doing is you are bringing me down. It's some people, when they come around, they bring a dark cloud with them. They bring their dark cloud of negativity and drama and complaining and everything else that goes along with that. And we don't need that in our life. I don't need it in my life. I need peace. I think peace is something that I'm always seeking desperately. I need peace. I need joy. I need encouragement. And when you have people that are coming in your life, that they don't have peace, they haven't worked on themselves, they're angry, they're jealous, or this is the worst part, when you're around people who are lazy. And It's just not going to work. You have to find people who are on your wavelength or higher. You cannot have people around you that are on a negative wavelength. If they're all the way down here and you're up here, you're trying to elevate and grow and work on yourself and love your life and have peace and be at a zen spiritual connection, and they just aren't, you are going to make yourself miserable trying to change them or trying to make them happy, or just because you keep a constant connection with them. And that was one thing that was hard for me to cut ties with people that I love. Um, you can love people, but you can love them so much that you forget about loving yourself. You forget about your dreams. Mm. Just that alone, I was like, no. I was like, no, this is absolutely not gonna work, and it won't. And what does it say? The plan won't work until you work the plan. And I know for sure that there is a lot of things in my life that I could have done much sooner. But for one, I didn't love myself enough. And people say, oh, yeah, I love myself. People say they love themselves as a blanket statement just to, feed their ego, to fuel their ego. But they love themselves, but they don't love themselves enough. Do you love yourself enough to go out on a ledge and chase your dreams? Do you love yourself enough to cut off those toxic people in your life? Do you love yourself enough to go after your dreams? Do you love yourself enough to make radical changes in your life to improve it? And that is what I personally had to learn for me, that if my life wasn't happy and I didn't have joy in my life, that was all because of me. That's not anybody else's problem, anybody else's responsibility. That's mine. And learning to take ownership for yourself is so hard. It's so hard to look at yourself in the mirror and say you're being lazy. It's hard to look at yourself and say you're not showing up for yourself. And if you have enough courage to do it, congratulations. The next step after saying you've been dropping the ball is saying, now what do I need to do next? This is what most human beings don't do. Most human beings want to do whatever, stay inside of this in the comfort zone, where they don't have to make any changes, they don't have to learn anything. They can keep staying in this comfortable box, limiting themselves. I for one, I kick down the doors of that box. I don't want to be in a box. I want to elevate, burst out that box, make changes, do something different, you know? And I had to say, I want radical change in my life. But things cannot radically change if you are not doing anything to get it. It's like you're complaining about, for me, for instance, I was always complaining, I hate this job. And it's like just thinking about the night before I'm going to work tomorrow, it would stress me out so much. It's like, I hate this job. I hate the people who are here. They get on my nerves. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. And that used to be me. But then I wasn't doing anything to have a different life. I wasn't doing anything that brought some fulfillment in my life. I wasn't doing anything to pour into myself. And to be honest with you guys, I take ownership of that. That was all me. And the same thing for you all. It's never too late for us. It's never too late for you. No matter what people say, no matter what you've done in your life, no matter how old you are, no matter the mistakes you've made, you have to believe in yourself and be confident enough to say, I'm going to stand up for me. I'm going to do this for me. And when I did that, there was nothing that could stop me. When you have that sort of unshakable confidence, It doesn't matter how tired I am, I'm still going to show up for me, you know? It's like we show up all the time for a job. You show up all the time for friends or family or a romantic relationship, but do you give that same energy to yourself? When I really started to think about that and process it, I'm giving so much hours, so much time to this person, this person, this person. And what about me? What about my cup? And what am I doing to make myself fulfilled? What am I doing to make me happy? Most of the time, it's nothing. It's like the only thing I'm doing to make myself happy is getting something to eat and sleeping. And that's just the bare minimum. We need to be doing more than just sleeping and eating. Our life has to be more, and it's time for us to skyrocket, you know? And but we're the only persons that can have that level of empowerment. And like the saying goes, you got to be sick and tired before you can do something about it. And I know that I had to get sick and tired. I had to get sick and tired of my lame job. I'm just gonna say what it is. It was lame. I got sick and tired of negative people, drama people. People were always dry begging, want money from me. Just you have to get tired of it so that you can change it. And I know that I'm smart enough. I know I'm courageous enough. I know I'm bold enough. I know I'm capable. I know that I am worthy. So it's like I had to really get tough with myself one day. Why are you sitting on your dreams? Why aren't you working for yourself in all aspects? Like showing up for yourself, getting your exercise, taking better care of your health, going to your doctor, doing the things for you, checking off your list because we're all getting older. I'm just going to say it that way. Every single one of us, we're all getting older, and we can't do anything about that. We all get older. But are we going to getting older, and are we getting wiser? Are we getting older and we are having more peace? Are you getting older and having experiences? Are you making memories? What are you doing with the days of your life? Only you can answer that. So, honestly, I just wanted to say that part. What are you doing with the days that you have? Do you just, another day, the same old thing, like a hamster running on that wheel, and you're wearing yourself out. You're so exhausted, but you're not getting anywhere. Have you guys ever felt like that? That's how I felt when I was working at that lame, negative, drama filled job. I'm so glad I'm free from that. And the only way I got free from that is I had to believe that I deserve better. And get better and do better and show up for me and make my plan B work. Don't just have one plan. You gotta have a second plan, a fallback plan, and execute it. And make the plan B shove out plan A. That was my plan all along, to make the backup plan the plan. Let's make this plan work. So, I just wanted to say that. I hope somebody needed to hear it. I don't know who I was talking to. When I do these lives, I just talk, and you guys come in and you listen to me. I don't know if it has any value to you. I don't know if it's doing anything to help you and to support you, but I'm just saying, life is too short. Life is too short for us to be unhappy. Life is too short for you to not enjoy your life. Life is too short for you to not live your dreams out. You know, but only you can do that for yourself. So, yeah. Shannon says, I can dig what you say. Your advice is very valuable. Thank you, Shannon. I appreciate that. Sometimes when I go live, I just feel like, am I talking to myself? Does anybody hear me? Does this make sense to anybody? And I guess it's because people are just taking in and thinking about it and seeing how maybe how can I benefit from this? How can this help me? And I get it because I have been there, done that, bought a T-shirt, and I never want to go back to that again. I never want to go back to that space of feeling that I have to do what everybody else is doing, that I have to follow, like a sheep, do what everybody else is doing. No, I want to do what Marlene wants to do. I want to do what makes me happy. I want to use my gifts. I want to live in purpose, by purpose. I want to help not only myself, but I want to help other people. And I'm grateful every day I wake up. Every day I wake up, I am grateful because I have made choices. I have made good choices. I have shown up for myself. And that is no easy feat. When people see my channel, people think, oh, Marlene, you're positive, and I can never be positive like you. Trust and believe the positivity doesn't just happen, it's the actions, it's your attitude, it's who you surround yourself by, it's how you show up for yourself, it's the mentors you have, it's what you listen to, it's what you feed your mind on, it's the food that you eat. It so much is involved in being happy. It's not just one thing. It's being consistent and being persistent and never giving up and loving yourself. You guys just have no idea how many times I I get so overwhelmed because I want so much out of my life. I want better for me. I don't want to struggle. I want to be able to in my lifetime be able to do some things where I can still walk. I don't if I'm not a person, I don't care about having money when I can't walk. I want to have some I don't care about being rich per se, but I want to be have enough to be comfortable so that I can live the life that I want. That's where I am at in my life. Because I see people who are in their 70s and 80s still working, like working a hard job, stressed out because they didn't make a plan B. And I said, I don't want that to ever be me. I saw my mother and my father do that, work at a job until they were at the end of their life, and they never got to do something fulfilling for them. They never got into their purpose. They never got a chance to sit down and relax or go on a vacation and whatever it is that they wanted to do. And, I just don't want that to be me. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want that to be me. I want to be able to be traveling. I want to be able to just, if I want to sleep in until noon, yeah, we're sleeping until noon today without anybody being on my back. So that's that's what I wanted to say, and it is what it is. I know that it's not for everybody, like Gio always says, but it is for somebody. Everybody is not going to put in the work, okay? A lot of people will look at you, listen to you, say, that's good advice, but they're never going to apply it. I want to speak to the people who want to apply it. You want to change your life, and I'm telling you that you can do it just like I did. You can shift your life, but first you got to shift your mindset. You have to believe in yourself. You got to set up a plan. You got to be consistent and persistent. You got to do those things, you know? Hey, Brad, how are you doing? Welcome in. Happy Saturday. Happy new month. Are you at work today? Are you out and about in Toronto? What are you up to today? And what is everybody here up to today? What are you up to today, Shannon? and Realist and Lisa and Lara. I don't know who else came in, and Jill and Life with Tasharia and Real Odds and Evens. I'm still downtown Toronto ranting and raving. What are you ranting and raving about, Brad? Shoshana says, I work with some people, they don't want to be happy. Mm-mm-mm. Is that the truth, Shannon? Uh, working with some people is just so, when I say draining, so draining because they have made a choice to be miserable, and they want to be miserable, and they're going to be miserable because they don't do anything that fulfills their life. They have a boring life. They don't do anything, and it doesn't sound nice, but they're lazy. Some people are lazy. If you don't do anything, how can you be happy? You got to go out and do something. Live your life. Get better friends, you know? Find a good relationship. Do something with your life. Find your purpose, you know? But so many people won't do that for one reason or the other, but I'm not one of them. I think I gave away way too many years of my life. Um, Shannon says, I'm doing all right. Good to hear that, Shannon. I hope you're off today. I spent way too many years of my life being miserable. Too many years. Just working. And when I say work, and I mean working hard, guys, I mean back breaking work. I have trained people in my kind of work to work, and they quit by the time I come back on Monday. There's like, I'm not doing it. Yeah. Yes, and you're right about that, Shannon. So many people don't want to be happy. And because they don't want to be happy, they try to make you unhappy. Don't let them. Don't give them your power. When those people start complaining about their life, that's when you just say, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that," and just move away from them. Shannon says my patience is filling up. I'm not sure how I did it all these years. Yeah, my patience has definitely got. See, it's complicated. For important things, I can have a lot of patience. Like talking to people who are trying to get well and work on themselves. I can be very patient with that. But I have no patience for negativity, for immaturity, for toxicity. I don't have any patience for that. But I can wait all day for somebody who is working on themselves and they're trying their best and they're showing up for themselves. I can wait. I can do that all day. That's for sure. I can do that part, but I cannot do those miserable toxic people. I cannot. Um, I gave too much of my years away with toxic jobs and toxic people and toxic friends and manipulators and narcissists and just it's the image. It for me, what I can't take at my age right now is people who are people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and up, and they're acting like they're a little kid. You know, they're acting like a little toddler, having temper tantrums. Ever going to grow up? Some people will never grow up. And I think it's because they have made that choice. They've made the choice to be angry, just like Shannon says. They've made a choice to just be miserable, and they want to be miserable. So, you have to let people be who they are, and at the same time, you have to let yourself be who you are. And that takes courage every single day to wake up and choose yourself, to wake up and be happy, to wake up and dream and put your sneakers on and go for your walk and do what you're supposed to do, and using your gifts and loving people that love you back. I think this is the last topic that I'm going to talk about is loving people who love you back. And how many of us love people, but are they loving you back? Do they show up for you like you show up for them? Hmm. Shannon says there are some people that I work with all the time. We are friends. These last few months, I've been finding different ways to handle the complaining. I started bringing my lunch. That way, I don't have to. You probably meant go out with them. Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things is brings me to this topic right here of loving people who love you back. Okay, people will say they love you, right? And feel in any relationship. It could be a parent, it's a friend, it's a sibling, it's this person, it's that person. And they say they love you, but are they loving you back? And do you guys know what I mean when I say that? Are they supportive? Do they listen to you? Do they fill up your cup, or do they always have their hand out wanting something? It doesn't always have to be money, but a lot. Let's be honest. A lot of times, people want money, or they want your time, or they want you to do something for them, but they are not willing to do anything for you. See, that's not love. That's manipulation. That's love bombing. That it's a lot of people. They do a lot of gaslighting. They do a lot of manipulation. There's a lot of people that are not mentally stable, okay? And they want you to ignore their bad behavior, their drama. Do you have people like that in your life? You know, I had to get those people out of my life because they were ruining my mental health. You know, always complaining about what is not going right in their life, but they're not doing anything to shift it. They're not doing anything to make themselves happy. Only you can do that, you know? And that's why I have went through my phone looking through who are in my contacts list and asking myself, why do they deserve to hold a space in my phone? This is my phone. This is my life. And if you're not pouring into me, if you're not helping me, teaching me, empowering me, giving me something good, all those numbers have been deleted. If you're not depositing, if you're not adding, if you're not benefiting, if you're not supporting me, then that means that they're subtracting. People take away from us all the time. Why do you think that we always feel so tired? Why do you think that you feel negative? Why do you think that you're struggling right now? It's because the people that you allow in your life that claim they love you, right? And the I love you, I love you, right? Well, you hear it all the time, and this is the time of the year where people, oh, I love you so much. No, they love you because they want that gift. They love you because they want your money. They love you because they want to know your business, but they don't care about you. If people loved you, they would show up for you the way you needed that support, the way you needed that love. Most people are not willing to love you how you want to be loved. They want to love you and breadcrumb you. They only want to give you a little whatever. They want to breadcrumb you. They want to just, okay, I'll give you a little bit of my time if I have time, if I'm not busy, if I can't do nothing. But they wouldn't be willing to bend over backwards. You know, we have to stop bending over backwards for people that wouldn't even be willing to extend their phone, their finger to the phone to send you a text and say hello. If somebody can't even say hello to you, how are you doing? Are you okay? I was thinking about you. How can I help you? If they're not willing to do that, then is that really a person you need to be keeping in your life? Is it? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't think so. That's a person you need to remove them from your life. You really do. Shannon says, I always feel sometimes people are always pulling at me. I always have a positive attitude and make work fun. Some people I don't mind, but some I do mind. I really don't want to hear them whine and complain. Hmm. Yeah, that can be a trial. That can be very frustrating. It can be very discouraging to be around people who all they ever talk about is negativity. All they ever talk about is what isn't working and what isn't right in their life. Sorry, guys, I gotta put my phone on the charger. All they ever talk about is what isn't working, right? What isn't right in their life. But they never want to do anything to make themselves happy. They never want to do anything for other people. They never want to help other people, but they always want to get help. And that's one of the things, like, that makes no sense. You want people to help you, but you're not willing to help people. You're complaining about your life, but you're not doing anything to change it, you know? And those are the people, some people just like to talk about things, but they're not going to do anything to shift it. They just want to keep themselves miserable because that's the choice that they make. Some people make a choice to be miserable. They like it. And that is something that I didn't know until, I started working myself in therapy, that some people, they want to be unhappy. And if you think about it, those unhappy people, think about the people they have in their life. You know, miserable, complaining people, people who fight, people who are always on the low, complaining, and yet they keep allowing it. And the same thing with me. I had to ask myself, why do I allow these people to keep calling me? And why do I answer the phone call? Why do I respond to the negativity? And you don't have to. You don't have to respond to the negativity. You don't have to respond to their drama. You don't have to try to make other people happy. The only one that you are responsible for making happy is yourself. Every single adult is responsible for their happiness. Every adult is responsible for their own peace of mind. Every adult. Okay? Nobody can make you happy. Contrary to popular belief, people can add to your happiness, but nobody can make you happy. Hey, Leonica, how are you doing? Welcome in. Shanna says, I find myself at work now trying to find a quiet spot when I take a break at work. Some people still find their way to me. I could go out in the desert and somebody would find me. You know, Shannon, I'll tell you something. When you take a break, how about you start taking your lunch and go to your car? Go to your car, lock the door, and make it a peaceful space. Turn on some your favorite music, be in there dancing and laughing. Watch one of your favorite shows, but you don't sit in a break room where you're going to be miserable. Take your break in your car. And hey, Leonica, how are you doing? Welcome in. I hope you're doing great. Hey, Sirius, welcome in. Yes, I'm wonderful as well. Thank you so much, Sirius. Really appreciate you. I was just talking about how important it is for us to love people who love us. And I tell you guys that it was a very humbling experience. I really had to learn how to show up for myself. I really had to learn to respect myself. And I really had to learn that I don't have to take it. And you don't. You don't have to take negativity. You don't have to take the drama. You know, you don't have to stay in a relationship that you're not growing in. If you're always the one doing everything, they don't plan anything, they don't listen to you, and it's always drama. They don't respect your time. That used to be something. I don't know who is like me, but I am a person that I'm a time person. If somebody says, hey, we're going to get together at 1 p.m., I'm going to be there at 12:45 or earlier, at least 15 minutes early. It'll be 1:07 and they'll be texting you, I'm about to leave. What? No. About to leave where? And say to meet up with you. Oh, I left. I was like, what you mean? Uh-uh. It'll be like 15 minutes after, and they'll be talking about I'm on my way. So that's one of the things that make um I had to make um standards for myself. I had to learn to set boundaries for me. Stop letting people set me off. I take my power back subtly, okay? Little by little. Shannon says the building is really large to find space, but you make a good point. I should start going to my car and eliminate it all. That's what I used to do, Shannon. You know, I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just saying what I did because I used to be the same way when I was at my job. I, all the time. I used to be like, I just want to be by myself. It's like, no, just like I'm on my break. Like, don't talk to me. I don't it's nice if you come in and you say hello, but they come in and they want to talk about negative things or talk about this person or how hard the job is and this. I am on my break. Leave me alone. Okay? Siri says, that's me, Marlene. Time management is so important to me. I'm a punctual person and I don't play those games. I used to be that person who was always late to things, but when I learned to respect myself, I also learned to respect other people. Other people's time is valuable. People don't have to wait for you, and then they want to have oh you left. I thought we were gonna get together. I said I thought so too. So y'all, respect people's time. Respect your own time. Don't let people play in your face. For real, that's a real thing. Um, I forget what I was going to say. It just flew out of my head. But I just wanted to tell you guys, we have 3 more months left in this year. We have all of October, all of November, all of December. Have you done the things that you wanted to do yet for this year? It's not too late. You still got a little under 90 days left. What are you guys doing? How are you going to show up for yourself? How are you going to take better care of yourself? For me, I had to start. This is going to sound crazy to some, but I had to start putting myself together better. I don't know who needs to hear this message, but I would not that I would look tore up or anything, but I knew that I could look better, like walking around with a bonnet on or just having a big old dress, like not put together. So I had to start treating myself better, like dressing how you feel about yourself. I think that is something that is so important. If you respect yourself and you love yourself, it's not just, oh, it doesn't matter. You should never have that attitude when it comes to how you look to other people. And it's not for other people, that's for you. You should always look like a princess or a prince. You should always dress with class. You should always show up with dignity. Nobody should ever have to guess, oh, do they respect themselves? No. You can tell a person who respects themselves by how they dress, what they talk about. And I think that's what I'm going to talk about the last 12 minutes here. Let's talk about self respect, self esteem, and all of those things. So, um, When I was younger, I most definitely did not have self respect. And I believe self respect is linked with self esteem. When you have high self esteem, when you have high self respect, there's so many things that you won't do. And also at the same time, there's a lot of things that you won't allow. And I know for sure that I allowed so many things in my life for so many years. I allowed things with my relatives. I allowed things with friends. I allowed things in a romantic relationship. I allowed things I allowed too much. So, one thing that I want to say to somebody, and I hope you guys are listening, take care of you. You get one you. You get one you, ladies. You get one you, gentlemen. Make sure that you're doing a good job. It's not anybody else's responsibility to make you happy. It's not anybody else's responsibility to take care of your mental health. It's not nobody else's responsibility if you want sleep or a vacation, it, to having a fulfilled life. And you don't have to have a lot of money to be fulfilled, but are you doing things? Are you getting out there? Are you doing things for yourself? Should. I recently had to reevaluate that. Um, I'm a sort of an adventurous person. Some of you guys know about me. Some people don't, but I am an adventurous person, and I think my creativity is blocked off when I'm at work because I would much rather I would rather be outside, getting into adventures, looking at beautiful beaches, or being somewhere, doing something. But it's just a lot of times that, yeah, you have to work, yeah, you have responsibilities, but also, what are you doing for you? You got to have some balance in that, and giving to yourself too. Most of us, we work really hard, really hard. And are you working really hard for your whatever it is that you're trying to do in your life? Are you trying to make sure you go on those vacations? Are you trying to make sure that you're doing that? Um, Work is getting, yes, and that right there is not working. The math is not mathing because I'm a very creative person. I think my mind works a million miles an hour. It's one of the reasons why I have multiple. I have, and this is just nothing. I have multiple YouTube channels. I have other social media. I run a business. I have life coaching, and I have a job. So I'm not a person. I can't stay still. I have to have things to do. I have to, and I just feel like the job sometimes stamps out your creativity. Because I'm also an artistic person. I write poetry. I write books. I write kids stories. I have a lot of things that I do outside of this, and I'm just like, when is this part gonna end? And so I could be in the creative space for the whole day. That's where I'm trying to be. And that's why I said I have my plan B, and that's why I'm working my plan B until my plan A gets right or something. I hope that made sense for somebody. Um, Shanna says, I get constant new ideas, notes on my phone all the time. As you should, Shannon. Congratulations. You're doing a great job. I wanted to tell everybody, especially during this marathon, this channel, Life with Marlene, is dedicated to having important conversations about everything in life. And what could be more important than how you're living your life? Are you happy? Do you have joy, contentment, peace of mind? Are you taking care of your health? You're taking care of your finances? What kind of relationships do you have? Are they good? Are they healthy? Do they inspire you and motivate you, or do they bring you down? Mm. That is one of the things that I had to really get into recently. Were the people in my life bringing me joy? And if they weren't bringing me joy in my life, I had to ask myself why. Why weren't they bringing me joy? Why weren't they bringing me happiness? And why do I allow them to stick around when they need to go? And I think it was something that, from unresolved childhood issues, I would allow people to stay in my life for longer than they deserve to be there. And I know that I'm not the only person that did that. It's not anymore. It's been some years since I have allowed that, but I definitely had to stand up for myself. I had to ask myself, what do I want? And be real about it, that there were people in my life that I cared about them, but they didn't care about me back. It's people who will tell you they love you right to your face, and they really don't. People will tell you they love you, and actually they hate you, or they're jealous of you, and you know it. You know, you guys are grown people. You know the people who truly love you, and you know the people that are only there because, for one reason or the other, because they know you for a long time, or because of some benefit from you, that you're intelligent, or you give them something, or you're supportive, or they're riding on your coattails, of your success, like Gia always says. That's what some people do. Some people are only in your life to use you, to take advantage of you, and they don't see the light in you. They don't see that you're worthy and you're capable of great things. They don't believe that about you. Some people feel you're only in their life for you to help them. They don't see that you have your own life, that you have your own gifts. There's things that you are good at. And those are the people that I had to get out of my life, because they were stifling my creativity, stifling my joy and my peace. And I just couldn't handle it anymore. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to come on live and to say. Let's see. Other announcements. Oh, on my other channel, Marlene Motivates, I am doing a fitness challenge, a weight loss challenge with GeoVlogs H Town and Boss Lady Denise, and I think I set it up for October the 11th. I believe so. But I will share it when it happens. But yeah, we're doing check-ins, because I have some goals that I have to be at this goal by January. I promised myself I was not going to go in. I'm not going into 2026 panting. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Winded, because if you got to go up the stairs and I can't breathe, I'm sick of it. Um, I think that I'm a person that I stay generally healthy because I stay busy and active for what I do for work, but I know that I could do better in showing up for myself. And I'm looking forward to this weight loss challenge, not only for the weight loss, but also for improving my mental health and spending more time with myself, and just opening up myself to new experiences. So I'm excited about that. So we're going to be doing that challenge from now until January the 3rd, I believe. So that's going to be exciting. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And I want to say to everybody who supports me on this channel and all of my other channels, I appreciate every single one of you so very much. I really and truly do. I appreciate you guys. And it really matters to me how you guys are doing, how you guys are feeling, and what type of life you have. For me, it's about the quality of your life. And I want you guys to be thinking about that. Whether you're watching in the replay or you're here live, I want you to start thinking about, how can I improve the quality of my life? How can I increase my creativity and my joy and my peace and do things for me? that's that's what we're about over here. Life with Marlene. I made a promise to myself that I was going to live my life on purpose, with purpose, have peace, be creative, and also give positivity, motivation, and inspiration to others. And I feel like I do that every single time I do a live or a video. I hope they're helpful. I hope my space on this red app is a motivational one. It's a positive one. It brings you peace, makes you think about some things. So I want to say thank you guys so much. I appreciate every single one of you, and happy October, everybody. Get into your goals. Be encouraged. Know you are worthy, and don't let anybody take your peace away. Okay? Don't let anybody take your peace. Yes. Marlene's safe house. Oh, thank you, Sure Shannon. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Everybody have a wonderful rest of your Saturday. I will see you guys back on here. I think Monday I'm going to be doing a loop-in chat. I think so. I'm not positive. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But enjoy the rest of your October. Show up for yourself. Respect yourself. Set boundaries. Love on yourself. Take care of your mental health, your peace of mind, and most definitely don't forget about your soul. Okay? Gotta do some showing up for that and healing of that. Okay? Respect yourself. Sending you nothing but positive vibes, positive energy. I'm Life with Marlene, your Florida blogger, motivational speaker, and life coach. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks so much for coming out, everybody, to the marathon. Okay? Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Bye bye.